Have you ever had this incredibly frustrating moment? Like, imagine this situation.
Yeah.
Someone asks you a very simple question in English.
Oh, I think we all know this feeling.
Right. You know the answer. You understand every single word they just said to you. You even know the exact words you want to use to answer them.
Exactly.
But when you open your mouth, nothing happens. Your brain just suddenly goes completely silent.
Yeah, that is a really painful feeling. And, the worst part is always what happens next.
Oh, 5 minutes later.
Yes.
Hmm.
5 or 10 minutes later, when you are walking to your car or you are completely alone in your house, the perfect English sentence just magically appears in your head.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Well, if you walk away from conversations thinking, why didn't I say that?
Hmm.
You are definitely not alone.
Absolutely not.
And you usually walk away feeling like your English is just terrible.
Mm.
But today, we are doing a deep dive into a really fascinating guide. And this guide proves something completely different.
It really does. It completely changes how you look at the problem.
Yeah. It shows that your English is not actually bad. Your brain's filing system is just, well, it's jammed. So our mission today is to look at why this brain freeze happens.
And more importantly, how to fix that emergency panic button in your brain.
Exactly. Reassuring you that if you can understand movies and videos, your English is fine. So where does this guide start?
So the source material for our deep dive today focuses on a major mistake that almost all language learners make.
Okay, what is the mistake?
When we cannot speak well, we naturally assume that we just need to learn more words. We think the problem is the size of our vocabulary.
Right. We think we don't know enough.
Exactly, but the guide shows us that this is a trap. The problem is not how many words you know. The problem is the huge difference between simply knowing a word and, actually accessing that word when you need it in a real conversation.
Wait, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
If my problem is finding words in a conversation, are you saying that those vocabulary apps I have been downloading are actually a waste of time?
Well, not a complete waste of time.
Because my first instinct is always, to buy another textbook or download another flashcard app to fix my speaking.
Right, and those apps are very good for reading and listening. But input alone cannot solve a speaking problem.
Because speaking is different.
Yes, reading is just input. Speaking is production. Let's actually test this right now with the listener. Take a very common English word, like the word decision.
Oh, that is a perfect example. You, the listener, you definitely know the word decision. You can read it.
Right.
You probably use it in emails at work every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And you understand similar words like the verb decide.
Exactly. But now imagine you are talking to a native English speaker and they look at you just out of nowhere and they ask, "What was the most difficult decision you made recently?"
Oh, wow.
Now try to answer it. Don't write it down. Don't translate it in your head first. Just speak.
I can almost feel the panic happening just thinking about it.
It's very common. Your brain suddenly becomes very busy.
Yeah, you might know exactly what you want to say in your native language, but then your English brain sounds a huge alarm.
Right. It starts searching wildly like, where is the English word? Or how do I build this sentence?
What is the past tense? And suddenly the word decision is completely gone from your memory, even though you just practiced it 30 seconds ago.
Yes, exactly. The text explains this using a really wonderful analogy about a smartphone.
Oh, I like this one.
Think about your mobile phone right now. You probably have, thousands of photos saved on it.
Definitely. Way too many.
But if I ask you, hey, please show me the photo you took last Tuesday at exactly 2:20 p.m., what happens?
Oh, I would have to scroll through my phone for 2 or 3 minutes. There's just no quick way to find it.
Exactly. Your brain works the exact same way with English vocabulary.
Having the words is like having the photos.
Yes. Having thousands of words inside your memory is like having thousands of photos on your phone. But speaking requires you to find the exact right word, put it together with other words, and say it out loud in 1 second.
Wow. So having the photo is not enough. You need quick access.
Precisely.
It is incredibly frustrating, that my brain can easily recognize a word on paper, but it completely hides it from me when I'm speaking.
It feels like a betrayal by your own brain.
It really does. So what is actually going wrong in the brain's filing cabinet?
Well, the source material breaks this down into 2 different systems in your brain. There's recognition and there is retrieval.
Okay, recognition versus retrieval.
Right. Recognition means I see the word or I hear the word and I know what it means.
Like when you read a book.
Exactly. Let's take the word overwhelmed. It means feeling like you have way too much work to do.
That's a great word.
You can study this word, you can pass a vocabulary test on it, your recognition system works perfectly.
But the retrieval system is completely different.
Very different. Retrieval means I need this word right now to express my true feelings, and I can actually say it.
And that is where the system just completely breaks down.
Yes. A friend asks you, "How is your new job?" And you truly feel overwhelmed, but your brain cannot retrieve the word quickly enough.
The search just takes too long.
Exactly. So you just smile and say, "I'm good."
Yeah. We say I'm good because it is safe, it is easy to retrieve.
Right. The guide calls this the vocabulary illusion. We know all these big, beautiful words, but they are just stuck in our recognition system.
So if we have the words, why do our retrieval pathways just freeze when we talk to a real person?
Because honestly, we actively sabotage our own
We
brains.
sabotage ourselves.
Yes, the guide calls this the perfection trap. We stop ourselves from speaking because we are so afraid of making a mistake.
Oh, that makes sense.
Imagine you are learning how to ride a bicycle for the very first time. You get on the bike and you start pedaling.
Okay, I am picturing it.
But then every 2 seconds, you pull the brakes and stop the bike to ask, wait, is my left foot at the perfect angle?
Right. Are my hands in the exact right position?
Exactly. What would happen?
You would just fall over. You would never actually learn to ride the bike because you destroy your own forward momentum
Yes, and English learners do this every single time they open their mouths.
by trying to be perfect.
Exactly. They try to do 4 very difficult jobs at the exact same time.
4 jobs.
Yes. They try to be the speaker thinking of the message. They try to be the teacher watching the progress. They try to be the grammar checker looking for mistakes. And they try to be the pronunciation coach.
Wow, that sounds exhausting.
It is.
So when my brain stops to ask, wait, should I use the word went or have gone?
Yeah.
I'm actually just overloading my system, like a computer opening too many programs.
That is the perfect way to describe it. Your brain's working memory can only handle a small amount of information at one time.
Right.
The text explains that there are 2 different modes of speaking. The first mode is get the message out. The second mode is improve the message.
And you cannot mix them.
You simply cannot mix these 2 modes. You have to choose one.
Let me give a concrete example of this for the listener. Let's say I want to tell you about a trip I took this weekend.
Okay.
I could say, yesterday, I go to the market. Now, grammatically, that is completely incorrect. I should use the past tense went.
Right.
But if I say, yesterday, I go to the market, does the meaning change? Do you still understand me?
Completely. The meaning is perfectly clear. I know when you do it, and I know exactly where you went.
But imagine if I try to be perfect instead. I want to tell you about the market, but I take 20 full seconds of total silence.
Oh, that happens so often.
I just stare at you, trying to build the perfect past tense sentence in my head before I speak. Which one of those is better communication?
The mistake is much better communication. Yesterday, I go to the market keeps the conversation moving forward.
Right, the bicycle is still moving.
Exactly. 20 seconds of awkward silence kills the conversation entirely. We must remember that communication is not a grammar test.
The goal is meaning.
Yes, the primary goal is meaning. You must focus on getting the message out first.
Okay, so if building sentences word by word is a bad strategy, how do fluent speakers talk so easily? Do native speakers just think faster?
No, they do not think faster. They just use a completely different strategy. They use something called chunks.
Chunks. Let's talk about that.
If we look at 2 different learners, this becomes very clear. Learner number 1 has studied 5,000 individual English words.
That's a lot of words.
It is. Learner number 2 only knows 2,000 words. But learner number 2 speaks much more smoothly.
Because learner number 2 is using chunks.
Exactly.
Let me try an analogy here. Building a sentence word by word is like trying to cook dinner, but you have to chop every single vegetable from scratch while the pan is already hot.
Oh, that's stressful.
Right. It takes too much time and you panic. But using chunks is like buying pre-chopped vegetables at the store.
I love that.
The hard work is already done. You just open the bag and throw them in the pan.
That is a brilliant way to picture it. A chunk is simply a group of useful words that live together in your brain as one single piece.
Can you give us an example?
Let's look at a common example from the text. The phrase, "It depends on the situation."
Okay, so if you try to chop those vegetables from scratch, your brain has to search for 4 different words.
Right. It has to find the verb depend, then it searches for the correct preposition on, then the article the, then the noun situation.
And searching for 4 words takes 4 times as long.
Exactly. But if you learn that phrase as one pre-chopped bag, one single chunk, your brain only has to do one search.
That is so much easier.
Retrieving one full phrase is incredibly fast. Other examples are chunks like, I'm not sure if, or to be honest with you.
Let's actually test how powerful this is with the listener right now.
Yes, let's do it.
We are going to do the 5-second rule from the guide.
Okay, listener, I am going to give you a single word. You have 5 seconds to use it in a sentence out loud.
Do not plan it. Do not translate it. Just speak.
The word is awkward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What did you just say out loud?
Maybe you said it was awkward, or maybe you said I felt awkward.
Right. And the really important lesson here is that you did not pause to study the grammar of the word awkward just now. You simply used it.
You pulled a small chunk from your brain's retrieval system. You bypassed the grammar checker completely.
And that is how real fluency actually feels.
Yes, it is.
So, chunks are a fantastic tool to start speaking. But let's be honest about real conversations.
They can be unpredictable.
Very. Even with chunks, you will eventually hit a wall. You will completely forget a word. What happens then?
Well, the source material provides some excellent real-time survival tactics for these moments.
Survival tactics. I like the sound of that.
These survival tactics are what separate confident speakers from nervous speakers.
What is the first one?
The first tactic is the 3-second rule. When someone asks you a question like, what did you do this weekend?
Yeah.
You must start speaking within 3 seconds.
Within 3 seconds.
Yes. Do not wait 10 seconds to plan a beautiful, perfect story in your head.
What is the science behind that? Why does starting in 3 seconds help us?
It prevents your brain's alarm system from waking up. If you wait in silence for 10 seconds, your internal grammar checker takes over. You start worrying. But if you start speaking immediately, you force your brain into meaning mode. You buy yourself time.
So you just grab a chunk to start the engine. You can say, well, actually, I stay home. You might not know the end of your sentence yet, but you are already speaking.
Exactly. You are building momentum.
Okay, what is the second survival tactic?
The second survival tactic is called the missing word skill. This is what truly fluent native speakers do when they forget a word.
Because native speakers forget words too, right?
Every single day. The difference is they do not panic. They simply describe the word they are missing.
Let's look at the example of making tea. Imagine you want to make tea and you completely forget the word kettle.
A kettle is the machine you use in the kitchen to boil water.
Right. So if you forget this word, you have two choices. Choice A, you stop talking, your face gets red, you panic, and you feel embarrassed.
And choice B is the missing word skill. You describe it. You turn to your friend and say, hey, where's the machine you use to boil water?
And your friend will naturally reply, oh, the kettle is right over there.
Exactly. The conversation never stops.
Let's try one more example. The word receipt. This is the small piece of paper they give you at a store after you buy something. It shows how much money you paid.
Right.
If you are standing at the store and you forget the word receipt, what do?
You use the exact same survival tactic. You look at the cashier and say, excuse me, can I have the small piece of paper that shows what I paid for?
And the cashier will say, of course, here is your receipt.
See? You communicated perfectly without knowing the word.
This brings up a really important emotional side of learning English. Every single time you forget a word, stop talking, and panic, you are teaching your brain a very negative lesson.
Yes, you are training your brain to believe speaking English is dangerous. It is a threat.
But the opposite is also true.
Very true. Every time you use the missing word skill to describe your way out of a problem, you teach your brain a positive lesson.
You teach your brain, I am safe. I can handle challenges.
And over time, the fear just completely disappears.
That is so powerful. Okay, so we understand the problem now. We know we need retrieval, not just recognition.
Right.
We know we need to stop being perfect and start using chunks. And we know how to survive when we forget a word. So how do we train this?
The text outlines a very specific 7-day speaking challenge.
7 days. Let's hear it.
It is a brilliant step-by-step challenge. For the next 7 days, you will speak English out loud for just 10 minutes a day.
Just 10 minutes. That's very doable.
But there is one absolute unbreakable rule. During these 10 minutes, you are not allowed to study grammar.
No grammar at all.
None. No textbooks, no vocabulary apps. You only produce English.
The guide gives a specific topic for each day. And what I really love about this schedule is the strategy behind it. It builds your brain muscles slowly.
Exactly. For day 1 and day 2, you just talk to yourself about very familiar things. You describe your morning routine, or you talk about your job or your studies.
Very safe topics.
Yes. But as the week continues, it pushes you out of your comfort zone. By day 3, you talk about something you bought recently. By day 4, you have to tell a short story about something that happened to you in the past.
Oh, that forces your brain to practice past tense chunks.
Exactly. By day 5, you give an opinion on a simple topic. By day 6, you face the hardest task. You have to explain something you know very well to an imaginary person.
And day 7?
On day 7, you just answer 10 everyday questions.
I have to stop you there, though, and ask about one specific instruction in the guide.
Sure.
The text says I need to record myself on my phone for these 10 minutes. I have to be completely honest with you. Listening to my own voice making grammar mistakes sounds absolutely terrifying.
Oh, it is a very common fear.
Are we just doing this to torture ourselves?
Not at all. You must remember why you are recording. You are not recording yourself to judge your English. You are not trying to prove that you are bad at speaking.
Then why do it?
You are acting like a scientist. You are recording yourself to gather evidence.
Oh, so I am just collecting data on my own brain.
Precisely. When you listen to the recording later, you will hear exactly where you pause. You will hear which words you repeat nervously.
Right.
You will hear exactly where you get stuck, and this gives you clear data on what chunks you actually need to learn next.
This creates a huge mindset shift for the listener.
It really does.
Getting stuck and making a mistake does not mean my English is bad. It just means, oh, I found a place where I need to build a new road in my brain.
Exactly. It takes all the emotion and the fear away from making mistakes.
Let's summarize the journey we have taken today on this deep dive.
Good idea.
If you know what you want to say, but you freeze when you try to speak, it does not mean you lack intelligence.
No, it simply means your English is still living in your recognition system.
And the only way to move it into your retrieval system is to use it. You do not need to study more grammar.
Right. You need to use your English out loud, making mistakes, and relying on pre-chopped chunks.
Because true fluency is not the ability to speak perfectly without any mistakes.
Fluency is the ability to keep the conversation going despite your mistakes.
As we finish this deep dive, I want to leave you, our listener, with a final thought to take with you today.
It's a great thought.
What if you stopped viewing your mistakes as failures? What if you started viewing your mistakes as the exact stepping stones you need to build speed in your brain?
This really connects to how people feel about their own identity, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, many adult learners feel quiet, shy, or even childish in English, but they are funny, intelligent, and confident in their native language.
Imagine how your personality in English will grow the moment you stop asking your brain for permission to speak perfectly.
Yes, you do not need permission, you just need to get the message out.
You already have enough vocabulary inside your head right now to start having real conversations.
You just need to train your brain to retrieve it.
So think back to the feeling we talked about at the very beginning of this deep dive, that sudden emergency panic button in your brain.
We all know it.
The next time someone asks you a question and you feel that fear start to rise, take a breath. Do not try to build a perfect sentence.
Just grab a chunk, start speaking within 3 seconds, and trust that you can handle the rest.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep listening, keep speaking, and never wait until your English is perfect to start using it.